As you can see, we have dampness and mould right above the cupboards. It comes right down into my actual cupboards, so I can no longer store food in my cupboards. I had to throw all my food out. If I was locked up in prison, I would live more comfortably than here. I would have heating, I would have a warm bed, not damp walls. I'd be able to keep food in the house, I'd be able to eat meals that were safe. It's just a horrible situation to be in. And I just feel I'm being ignored. I feel like because they've put a roof over my head, that's it. They think they've sorted her now, she's got a roof, she can be fine. Just forget about her.
This flat in Wester Hailes feels more like a hellhole than a home to Tracy. Her bedroom walls are soaking, her shower doesn't work, and nearly every surface is infested with mould. Tracy was told she'd only need to stay here for a few months. She's been here for more than 4 years.
The day we moved in, the housing officer at that time came into the property and she told me to check the kitchen, and she went with me to check, and she said that previous tenants had complained about dampness and mould in the kitchen, but that the landlord had been instructed to fix it and he had said that he had. So she went in and she opened the cupboard, she looked at it and it looked great, it looked fine. Essentially all he's done is a makeover, he's painted over things, made it look like he'd fixed it, because within 6 months everything started to come back, and 6 months after that the whole house was riddled with rising damp. And although I was getting checks every 3 months by link, nobody would take note of what was going on.
Tracy has an aggressive and rare form of Crohn's disease. She's immunocompromised and claims her asthma has been made worse by living here.
The whole bath and floor fell 2.5 inches with me inside it. No water comes out the taps at all since the floors fell down on top of it. So I have no hot water at all in my bathroom. The floor has dropped quite a bit. Now rats have free access into the house and mice have free access into the house. I have no running water from a sink in the bathroom. I have to physically go to friends and neighbours' houses to get bath and a shower because I can't physically use my own bathroom. And I've had to throw away personal belongings that can't be replaced, like photographs of my kids when they were born. Their dad passed away when my youngest was 15 months old. Every photo that I have of him is gone. Every photo. I can't replace things like that.
Is that because of
the mould and dampness? Yeah. Everything was ruined. So all the report cards, everything that you keep from your kids, from their life, from school, now they're all gone. I don't have anything anymore. I had to throw it all away. And that broke my heart.
Tracy's family live nearby, but they can't visit. Her granddaughter has breathing problems, so it isn't safe for her.
She's only 4, this is the years I should really be enjoying. I don't know how long I'm going to have with her, but I'm not getting to see her at all. Especially when I know I'm on borrowed time anyway because of my illness. It's horrible.
All this is chipping away at Tracy's confidence and her mental health.
It's embarrassing having people in the house because you don't want people to come in and smell that. Nobody wants to drink a cup of tea that's been prepared in a kitchen that's covered in black mould, and that you're scared that you're going to make someone ill.
This is a private sector leasing or PSL flat. It's an arrangement where the council pays a private landlord to rent their property. The scheme is managed by housing association Link and was created to cope with the demand for temporary housing.
Apparently there's been no repairs in 16 years done to this house.
And obviously the system, the way it's set up, means that the landlord of a PSL will be getting a decent amount of rent every month.
Yes. It's not even worth £50 a month.
It's horrible to think you feel you've been completely forgotten.
Because they think, oh, you're ill, you're going to die soon anyway. And I put that to them, but you just wait for me to die, then you don't have to house me.
From single women to large families, this is a city-wide issue. This Syrian family arrived here as refugees in 2017. They now have settled status, but their living arrangements are anything but. Now a family of 7, they've been in this PSL flat for the past 2 years.
So my very big sister, the one in S2, sleeps down here on the mat. And my other sister sleeps here. She's the second oldest. And then me and my my sisters sleep up here. There's no room to put your legs.
They say their health is being affected by the mouldy conditions. 3 family members are now using inhalers for respiratory issues.
Has it taken its toll on you as a family?
Since I moved to this flat, I've had so many issues. I don't mind living in a small flat as long as the health is good and the system of the flat. Everything is healthy for us, but the problem in this house, there's a cut in the wall, so the water is coming to us as well, and the same in the kitchen.
The parents say they discovered a rat infestation around the time their 1-year-old son was born.
Yeah, and all the children didn't like using the kitchen because like the rat here, I didn't go to the kitchen.
The family feels welcome in Edinburgh and the children are settled at school. But after a turbulent few years, they want to make the city their permanent home.
Do you feel like living in this kind of temporary accommodation is holding you back from that?
Yeah, I would like stay here and like for life or with my family.
Since we moved here, we found very nice people, very welcoming. Even my children adapted to the community well.
They accept that there's a long list of people in a similar situation, but the uncertainty is draining.
For me, no problem, I'm waiting. But for my children and my wife, I can't.
Link told us the family of 7 have rejected 2 offers of alternative properties. They also claim no rats have been found and that the mould is being treated. As for Tracy, Link says it's offered her alternative properties to try and meet her specific circumstances. They've now moved her into a different property while repair works get underway.
When we have a crisis in Edinburgh with housing and there's thousands upon thousands of people suffering. I know what it's like to not have a home. You know, you don't have a base, you don't have any security, you don't have any warmth, and you're just aimlessly floating around all the time, and it's not a nice place to be.
When John was in his 20s, his struggle with addiction began. For a long time, he felt that he had nowhere to turn.
I was a ghost for about 20 years. Didn't have an address, didn't have a doctor, didn't have a phone number, didn't have a mail address. I wasn't even on the system. I wanted that by choice. It was my choice, just because I was done. I was hurt and upset. Fell through the cracks, basically, and nobody noticed.
Single men are often placed in temporary accommodation such as hostels with strict curfews.
What was that like?
You get put in a room, then you're left in that room on your own. You can't speak to really anybody in the places. You tap anybody's door and you're asked to leave. And for me, sort of coming and being on the other side now, not once through the 15 to 20 years did anybody ever come in and say, "How are you? How can I support you?" And basically, so it's like you're forgotten about. And then when you're forgotten about, you're like, well, what's the point?
That must have been so isolating.
It's hard work. It's like you're already in a prison within yourself anyway, and then you get put in a box, a room to fend for yourself. They're so depressing, and I'm not saying this for everybody because I know we're all on a different journey and stuff, but it was really, really, really hard mentally for me to get through that, and I got to the point eventually where I just stayed on the street because I wanted to be around people.
John found community at a local church, and from there he got the help he needed to turn his life around. At his lowest point, he carried his belongings in bin bags. But 2.5 years ago, he got the keys to his own flat.
It's my home. It's amazing. I have peace. Yeah, didn't have that for a long time, and that's what a home gives you. Every night I know I can put the key in that door, come in, and just, like everybody else, when you go home for doing this, you go, it's nice to be home. You can sit down, you can relax. You're not worrying about getting chucked out in the morning, get your push stuff in your bags. Let's go, you need to go again.
There are more than 14,000 temporary accommodation households in Scotland. That's the highest figure on record. 9,130 of the people who live under these conditions are children.
How frustrating is that for you to see that things haven't moved on, they haven't changed?
It's disheartening. That's why I'm so passionate about it, because I remember it. And I remember going through that system, constant rejection, have nothing for you, have nothing for you. You beat down. You know, treat people a bit dignity and a bit respect, rather than knocking them back all the time. You go, there you go.
John is now using his experience to help others, working at homeless charity Cyrenians.
I just love working with people and installing hope in people when they have none. Stray dog on the street gets picked up, taken to the vet, it gets homed, it gets out, it gets walked. What's wrong with a human being? How does a human being not get their needs met? They get forgotten about. There is hope, there's hope for everybody. We need to support these people when they get put into accommodation. We need to be there for them, we need to find out what they need, what needs need met. I hope this message reaches the right people, that we see change in ourselves, because we do this every day, to see change in people and support people in their lives, and we need help to do that.